Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I wanted to talk about who will the Minnesota Timberwolves sign in free agency. Yes, it's a interesting topic because I'll admit the Timberwolves do not have the world's most cap space, okay? Like, we're not going to sit here and be like, yes, we have so much cap that we can do a lot, but I have some ideas on how we could fix it, okay? Look, obviously part of the problem is we we've tied up a lot of money to players that I don't think deserve the money. Juancho Hernan-Gomez, yes, he had a good stretch with Chris Finch, and Chris Finch made me hate him a little bit less, but I still hate Juancho Hernan-Gomez. First off, I want to hear, before we start today's video, your comments down below. What do you guys think of the Minnesota Timberwolves and who they should sign? And let's get right into it. Okay, so Juancho's making seven. They right now have $131 million tied up with Ed Davis, Jared Vanderbilt, and Jordan McLaughlin being free agents. Jared Vanderbilt and Jordan McLaughlin need to be brought back. So I look at this, and if they trade Juancho Hernan-Gomez and Jared Culver, who Jared Culver we all agree is a bust, he's a bum. Josh Okogie redeemed himself under Chris Finch enough for me to reason us keeping him. But Jared Culver didn't even, he just sucks. He literally regressed. So if you combine Juancho Hernan-Gomez and Jared Culver, that's $13.4 million, which would bring you down to $118 million in cap space, which obviously still isn't like, ideal. But I still think that if they're able to make some moves, I think they could. Okay, so let's get right into it. And by using their mid-level exception, they could maybe get some guys, but I think ideally they would have to move some contracts around, which we've heard they are potentially willing to try to get into a deal for Ben Simmons or a player. Like, we know that Gerson Rosa is a guy who's willing to do trades. If trades are needed, they're going to do them. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the mid-level exception for them is about 5.89. So that opens up the idea that they could get a few guys. I would love them to get Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis is the perfect power forward, or even center, and you move Karl-Anthony Towns on offense to power forward, or I've talked about this a bunch with my subscribers in the comment section about having Karl-Anthony Towns be your quote unquote power forward on offense, and then on defense he moves back to center because he isn't quick footed enough to be your starting power forward. Like, I think he'd get abused by quicker footed power forwards, but imagine him on offense as a power forward, and then on defense he's the center. And Bobby Portis, dude, he was just lighting shit up for the Bucks in the playoffs. He had some really good moments in the playoffs, and maybe he might be too expensive for us, but I really do believe a guy like Bobby Portis could so help out this team to a level that I think they could become a playoff team immediately coming into this year. Like, I really like this team. I like Jared Vanderbilt and Jaden McDaniels being there, but Bobby Portis backing up Karl-Anthony Towns and occasionally coming in would be awesome. Like, look, Bobby Portis is an upgrade for the power forward position for them, and he's 26 years off, so he could earn a multi-year deal, and he could play power forward alongside Towns or be his backup, and he has the ability to stretch the floor pretty well with 47.1% three-point attempt this year. That's like how good he was this year for the Bucks at three-pointers, and 38 for his career from three. And he brings some defense, okay? The Bucks' defensive rating was 1.3 points worse without Portis on the floor. His 108.3 defensive rating would be better than every player on the team except Jake Layman. And we all know I'm not a fan of Jake Layman, so I won't even sit here and be like, oh, we got to keep Jake Layman, because I'm not going to say that. I'm going to tell everyone, let's get rid of Jake Layman. I'm actually a Jake Layman fan, okay? I'm from Maryland, and I go to the University of Kansas, but I grew up from 9 years old to 19 in Maryland, and I saw a lot of UMD basketball, and I was a big Jake Layman fan. A lot of Jake Layman. Like, I really thought Jake Layman was gonna be, was gonna be amazing, and we all see what Jake Layman is, okay? So for me, I just don't think he's worth the roster space. He's another guy that we should probably trade because he's not worth the contract we are paying him right now, which is 3.9 million. That's not that much, but hey, 3.9, that's like that, like we'll be at like 17 million. We'll save 17 million if we pair him with Hancho Hernan Gomez and Jared Culver, and that would bring us down to 114. Probably bring up the mid-level exception. You could even think about moving Ricky Rubio, and I wouldn't, but I like him. But yeah, so those are definitely offers out there. David Nwaba is another guy, but he would be kind of Josh Okogie 2.0. He's probably one of the best defenders in the NBA, can guard 1 through 5. But look, his two areas where he's less dependable is his availability and 3-point shooting. In his 5 years, Nwaba has played 55 games once, shooting up for 70. For more than 55 games once, shooting up for 70 games for the Bulls in 2017 and 2018. And while he shot 42.9% from deep over 20 games for the Brooklyn Nets in 2019 and 2020, he's a career 32.3% shooter from beyond the arc. And yes, there are some risks involved in signing him, but they should be minimal. Plus, Nwaba is a guy who can sign a minimal amount of money, and he can come off the bench as an active defender who can play the 2, 3, or 4 position. TJ McConnell is a guy who would be, if they trade Ricky Rubio, TJ McConnell can replace him. He'd be awesome. Look, the Timberwolves, as we know, defense is what they need in 3-point shooting. And everyone says more offense has never hurt anybody, especially not with Kelly Olynyk. Kelly Olynyk went off for the Houston Rockets. 55% from the field, 39% from 3, 84% from the free throw line over 27 games while averaging 19 points. Okay? And the Timberwolves could offer him a similar chance. Olynyk could thrive as a 6-man backing up Karl-Anthony Towns while playing some spot minutes alongside him in a modernized Twin Towers lineup that features so much shooting. Plus, the improvement of Edwards and better health of D'Lo and Karl-Anthony Towns could lead to a very successful year. Okay? And my last guy, if they could bring in the guys we would like, and that being, Karl-Anthony Towns with a guy like I was talking about earlier. I'm blanking on his name right now because I'm a freaking bum. But Bobby Portis and Georges Niang would be awesome. Georges Niang would replace Juancho Hernan-Gomez and Jake Layman as the shooter for this team. I love him. Georges Niang is somebody who I think was underrated. He appeared in all 72 games for the Jazz this year and tied Bojan Bogdanovic as the only 2 players on the roster that played in every game. He averaged 7 points on 44% from the field, 43% from 3, and 96% from the free throw, only missing 1 free throw over the course of the entire year. And Niang, being a part of the Jazz, has also been to the playoffs twice, and he averaged 45% from the field, 35% from 3, and 100% free throw percentage in his playoffs minute, only 13. He's 27, so he can offer plenty of value, and I don't think he is going to be anything more than $1 million or $2 million over the minimum. I could also see him being a minimum. And the Timberwolves need consistent players. While Niang isn't the best defender, he does have the elite skill of never missing time and being a phenomenal 3-point shooter. And he would be a guy who could help them right now, and it'd be a lot. It'd be a very, very vastly improvement for them. So yeah, let me hear your thoughts down below, guys. Peace out.